What is up, y'all? It's the Eric V, your stream teach here. And the biggest streamer in the world, Ninja, hosted a masterclass a few weeks ago. And I'm not going to get into all the details about the masterclass itself. I think Stream Scheme did an excellent job dissecting that. However, what I do want to do is talk about that one little excerpt of advice.
Try to have the viewer list open at all times so that if you see a brand new person come in, you can just say, hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping in. And that might encourage that person to talk to you and actually engage in the chat, and you might have earned your first follow.
So let's talk about why Tyler might be a little bit out of touch with his advice and why it definitely doesn't apply to you. Class is in session. Let's talk about the calling out of the lurker as they're just there viewing things. Let's say that this lurker is still in chat. And by the way, a lurker is someone who watches the stream without interacting with the chat or the streamer. A lurker is not someone who tabs up to support someone. Let's clear that up. That's a little pet peeve of mine. My philosophy around creating content, whether that be this YouTube channel, my Twitch streams, maybe even tweets and Instagram, is that if I was consuming this, would I enjoy it? Or if this thing has issues, how do I adjust? I always see it from a critical place. And what I mean by that is I put myself in the viewer's shoes. Every time you watch something on Twitch, you have to think about it. Do you interact? If you do pop into a one viewer person stream or a zero viewer person stream, do you interact? If they're not talking especially. If your answer to this is no, I don't interact every time, you have to think about also why that is. How are you viewing Twitch streams? What are you doing while you're watching Twitch? Are you filing your nails? Are you doing the dishes? Are you eating? Are you doing things that you typically do while you watch TV? Or movies. A lot of times when people watch Twitch streams, they watch them in the background, which is why I always say that audio is the most important thing when it comes to Twitch streaming, because people aren't even viewing you sometimes. So you have to make sure that one thing they are interacting with, the audio, is best. So if somebody pops into your stream, you're not saying anything, and Ninja did not say this, but presumably, if you have zero viewers, there's a chance that you aren't saying anything in your stream. You can't depend on a simple chat or a name list to guide how your stream's gonna go, because your stream is yours. And you put it up there because it is something that you have to maintain. Let's say you're watching a play, one person is in the audience or no people are in the audience, and everybody just stands there looking at you, waiting for you to say something first. That doesn't happen because they came prepared. I'm not saying you have to write out your complete notes and list, but I made a video about how to run a stream even though no one's in your chat talking. And the way to not do that is to call out someone who might be doing something else, or may just have anxiety, or maybe they just don't want to talk. Maybe they just want to watch or work in the background. The show rarely requires an audience. Your chat should be your top priority unless you're doing on a fully prepared show like a podcast or something scripted. Having no viewers is kind of a rite of passage because these are just things that happen. It's one of those things that make sure that I know how to talk to a camera when I'm recording a YouTube video because I've already gained up the skill to talk to myself. Until people start talking in my chat, I treat my stream like a podcast, and I'm not afraid of a dead chat. Neither should you be. This is an entertainment medium, so you have to entertain whether or not people are saying anything or not, even though they're watching you. Them watching you is enough. And even if they aren't watching you, you don't know when they pop in and out. So you only have we're in the TikTok generation. You might have 3 seconds to capture somebody's attention. So what are you doing with the time that you are live? The next time you see somebody's name in your chat who might be a bot, that you want to say, hey, feet, thanks for stopping by. Don't do that. Don't do that. People don't tend to like that. And there's been a lot of talk on Twitter in small circles, I'm sure, you may not even know what I'm talking about right now. This thing about streamer advice and this backlash around it. This channel is for people who want to grow and want to improve their streams. The banner of this channel says tips and tech to make you your favorite streamer. That is my goal here. So remember that next time you get advice about things that maybe you should do or things that maybe you shouldn't do, your best response might not be, well, what does it? They came up in a different environment than you. Ninja has been famous in internet years, especially in Twitch streamer years, forever. Where he came up is not where we're coming up. And even though I've been around live streaming, in the proximity of live streaming, I have not been grinding, as Ninja put it, as hard as he has. The competition that Ninja had back in 2013 is totally different from the landscape of streaming now, because I have 3 light sources around me. Back in 2009, when I first started streaming, I could never imagine that. People are going harder, production values are higher than they've ever been. So in order to claw your way up to the top, you have to be better than so many more people, where the bar has been raised for everybody. Consider that, honestly, if Ninja was trying to come up in 2020, which is probably the most oversaturated year for online entertainment in general, he would have a much harder time, and he may have not even made it. Whenever you're looking at somebody who is huge and somebody you might look up to on Twitch or whatever it is that they're doing, know that there was a process into that, and that process changes over time, especially on the internet, and they've probably been working at it for a lot longer than you've known that they have existed. I know that we all have to be masters of audio, video, lighting, photography, social media management, graphic design, showrunners even. This is not something that Ninja really had to deal with, because this was almost in the olden days of streaming when he did it. Don't take every big streamer's word as law because they are big, because some of that stuff is just outdated now. It just is what it is. Class dismissed. Big shout out to Corliss JC and Dr. J. I ain't no nemesis. I'm the genesis. That's the beginning of this shit. And I ain't Sonic. I come through like motherfucking Chronic. Like it was 2001. And you 2000 and done. Like a black eyed pea. I'm too black, so Will could never black eye me.